Good evening, everyone. We, the interns of IEEE Kerala Section, brings you the second episode of Color Your Space, Make Waves with Words. I'm Sandra Philip, and I will be the MC for this session. Today, we have Gautam Rajesh, who is the Vice Chairperson of IEEE SBGEC Barton Hill, and also one of our interns team member. He will talk about an introduction to low-code development using MS Power Apps. Please put up your queries in the live YouTube chat. At the end of the session, the speaker will clear your queries. Now over to you, Gautam.
Thank you, Sandra. Hello. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, yes. Your screen
Okay,
is visible.
thank you. So, a warm good evening to all the audience out there. So, welcome to the session on an introduction to Microsoft Power Apps. Uh, yeah, so I'll just recite a code right now. Just because you can build something doesn't necessarily mean that you should. This was a famous quote that is quoted by John Reimer, who is a famous technological principal analyst who quoted this one on behalf of the low code industry. Okay, what is low code industry? It might be a new word to all of us that popped to the technological development industry in the recent times in a large scale because it has a huge development technological impact. Okay, as of today, let's move on to the agenda of the talk. First of all, we'll looking into the introduction. Later on, we will be looking how web and mobile applications are made in this growing era of different technological trends. And later on, we'll look a deep view into what is low or what is low no code development and different difference between low code development platforms and everything. And afterwards, we'll be looking into the uses of low code development and the importance of low code development platforms in this dynamically growing different technological stacks. Later on, we'll be discussing into the difference between low-code development and low-code development platforms, along with the no-code development and its platforms. Afterwards, we'll be looking into the popular low-code development platforms available out there. Later on, we'll be looking into the future of low-code development platforms. Afterwards, the key takeaway of the talk will be introduction to Microsoft Power Apps. So we'll be discussing more about the Microsoft Power Apps suites, and after all, we'll be looking into what all the components that Microsoft Power Apps provides in the field of low-code development. And also afterwards, we'll be developing a Canvas Microsoft Power App using the Microsoft Power Apps Dynamic 365 suite. Okay, so now let's move on. Introducing myself, my name is Gautam Rajesh. I am currently the Vice Chair of IEEE Student Branch, Government Engineering College, Barton Hill. And also, I do serve as a DevOps intern at IEEE Kerala Section. Also, I am a Beta Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. So, being a Beta Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, I am able to have access to most of the premium suites of Microsoft Enterprise products, which enables me to present all various aspects of this topic today. In order to claim all these benefits and privileges that will be shown in the session, you will be needing a Microsoft 365 suite or else a Dynamic 365 suite. All those things available for me is because of I am holding the position as a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. So let's move on. First of all, let's look into how web and mobile applications are made. So we all use web and mobile applications for our daily use. Also, we know how all these web mobile applications are made, what all technological stacks are available out there, what all different things are out there, what all approaches are out available in order to make these applications. Okay, so there are different methodologies or different steps in developing these applications. Let's start with the first step. This step is the major and the most important step. It is called the problem identification step. In this step, identifying the problem is the major part. For example, let us take the mobile application Swiggy. Swiggy solved the problem of online food delivery or the delivery of food items to our doorstep. Here, the team Swiggy, that team behind the developing the product or developing the application Swiggy, they identified the problem. What was the problem? The problem was the food is not being served to our doorstep. So they identified the problem of not getting delivered the food, and they try to pitch the problem into their technological stack. So they'll get an idea about whole stack of problems, and they'll kind of consolidate into a single problem. Afterwards, a problem doesn't gives a product or an application. It won't make sense to an end product. So afterwards, this team, the team who found out the problem, will go for a business analysis. So in this business analysis phase, before implementing the solution, they will look into the business scope of the solution. In order to run this application, in order to make this application, and for every purpose, they need profit. So for that, they need to look into the business analysis of this application. How will this product implement the business market out there? So they will be looking into the business analysis of this application if it is deployed to the market. Afterwards, they'll be going for a research and analysis. In this phase, they'll be researching more into the problem, how it can be resolved by their technical knowledge, how the problem can be resolved uh, in order to make this problem uh, solve the problem in a good manner, and how it can be solved by our solution in a manner of technology. Okay. Uh, After getting these research analysis, they'll move on to making a software architecture design. In this phase, they'll be developing a prototype or all the requirement of this application. In this application, for example, taking the case of Swiggy, we are having an application for booking the food. The restaurants are having an application where they will be receiving the notification that an order has came, and also the delivery people, they'll be having a dedicated application in order to track the food, in order to track the way to reach their destination between clients and the restaurants. So they will make an architectural design of all these requirement application, all the sub softwares required, and they will consolidate into a single report. And they'll start to discuss how all these architectures can be designed, how all these restaurants can be placed, how the design of this application can be made. So the whole team will be discussing about the software architecture design. This is one of the most important phase, and the end product of this design is what makes the product more attractive to the people. Each and every UI UX designing phases also an important part in software architecture design phase. After making a UI UX with a complete agenda of how the app should work, they'll start the full stack development. In this full stack development, before starting the development procedure, they'll try to find an app stack, such as in the industry right now we are having several application stacks such as MERN stack, mean stack. These are some of the important technological stacks that are used for making web and mobile applications. So before that, they'll try to find a particular stack for their application. Suppose if they are choosing a MERN stack, they'll find the reason why they're going to choose MERN stack. They need to use React for their purpose. They need a more faster interface. So they'll choose an app stack in order to make their application more viable into the market. After the choosing the application, or they choosing the stack to make their application, they'll develop the application using that code itself, writing thousands and lakhs of lines of code. They'll develop the application as how the UI and UX has been provided. Afterwards, they will be deploying this application. This deployed application in the during the initial phases will only be available for the QA testers and also some of the people within the organization. So at this time, they will be looking into the problems in this, all the bug fixes in this application. They'll try to resolve it, and they'll redeploy the whole application with new version changes. And afterwards, they'll be going for a system administration. In this phase, the system administrators will look into the administration phase of the server and also the architectural maintenance of the application. Afterwards, the final stage comes, a continuous testing of this application will be done. Uh, Whenever we are making or deploying a web application to the market, one of the most important phase we need to take care is the security of this application. So in order to do that and to ensure there is no bugs are there in the application, they'll be always doing a continuous testing into the application. In the case of Swiggy itself, they'll be doing some sort of security test in the application. If there is any bug found, they'll go back to the development team or the security team in their team, and they'll be resolving the issue. They'll go for a new change and they'll deploy the application. This is how our web applications are made. This is the methodologies that are used in order to make a web application. So why we are learning about these methodologies while discussing about low code development? Because low code development is a system, or it is an special stack which does not follow these methodologies while making an application. At the end of the day, using native methodologies that we discussed earlier, we are making a mobile application or a web application. With the same end of the day, we are making a same sort of application, mobile application, by using low code platforms and low code strategy. So one of the most important factor that impacts the industry with the help of low code development is it is an environment with the drag and drop interaction without the use of writing complex code or designing architecture and everything. We can just drag some components that are available by the predefined software provider, and we can make our applications according to our design itself. It just provides an environment where we can drag and drop all these components into a particular platform. So the other major point is that I'll talk in the aspect of Microsoft Power Apps. If you are making a mobile application in the Microsoft Power Apps platform, we can make a Power Apps or we can make an application with just using Microsoft Excel. Integrating Microsoft Excel into this Microsoft Power Apps, we can make a fully fledged working mobile application that can track various activities of our daily life. So this is how powerful Microsoft Power Apps or the low-code development platforms are. When we are in case of Swiggy, they might be using a huge stack of database. For example, if they are choosing the MERN stack, they'll be using a MongoDB based database in order to make their application stronger and enough. But when we are using Microsoft Power Apps, or if we are using a low code development platform, we can use different types of data sets. Even we can use SQL servers, or else we can use Google Drives and different set of data sets from Google, or we can use Microsoft 365 suites using Microsoft Excel, Microsoft OneNote, Microsoft Planner, Outlook, and everything. We can make a different set of applications, mobile application, with just using all these data sets that are being provided by Microsoft itself. So this is one of the major advantage that low-code development provides us with. And as we said, these all things, Microsoft Excel is very familiar tool by everyone right now. And also drag and drop environment is one of the most taken environment in nowadays. So everyone in an industry, even a product manager or a front office manager can develop an application for the company itself. So that makes the scope of everyone can build an application by their own methods. One of the best example of drag and drop interactions are there are two types of designers out there. There are some designers who used to design posters using what Adobe Photoshop, and some are there using Canva application. So we all know Canva application provides us with some predefined templates. We can just drag and drop the changes that we need to do in those template and everything. But when it comes to Photoshop, we need to check all those uh, we need to do several points. We need to do several layers and settings in the Photoshop. It is more complex comparable to Canva. So that is one of the major comparison that we can do. We can consider Photoshop as a native code development and Canva development as a low code development platform. So that's how mainly this drag and drop interaction works in this low code development platform. As we discussed, it is the most modern method of developing application. We all know daily more and more technical stacks, more frameworks are coming, more and more technological stacks are coming, coding languages are coming, but still low code development is the most modern method of developing applications, which in which we don't need coding knowledge. We don't even know how to write hello world in a program in order to make an application. That is the major advantage that what low code development platform provide us with. Actually, low code development is this type or the method of developing application without having a knowledge in coding. But what is development platform? A platform, a low-code development platform, is a visual environment or a visual interface used for creating application without using coding experience. In this platform, we'll be having some components given, a template, predefined template given, So all non-technical users who are not having a prior knowledge in coding can just go into that interface or into that platform, and they can just drag and drop those components, UI components, and they can build the application in their own manner. Sometimes in some platforms, they use a little line of code. We'll come into the major platforms in the coming slides. So before that, I'll just give an overview. Some line, if you want to make an application or make a low code website, sometimes we need to write custom CSS or custom JavaScript codes. So some of the platform provide us with the interface or the provision to write custom CSS code or custom JavaScript code in order to make our final product. And also one of the major advantage and why this low code development industry is growing dynamically is these technologies are mainly used by enterprises, and these are used to maintain internal workflow within a company. These are the major reason why this industry is growing such a dynamically. Okay. Moving on to the use of low-code development and use of low-code development platforms. We can use or we can build apps without using any methodologies we have discussed earlier. As we discussed in the first slide, there are many strategies and methodologies that are involved in developing an application. There is the advantage of low-code development platforms where these platforms help us to develop a fully fledged working application without even following all those strategies and methodologies. We just need to find a problem we need to resolve. We need to find an architecture. We need to design the software. We need to just start developing, and we need to just deploy. These are the major phases involved in a low-code development. But when it comes to a native development scenario, it's not like that. We need to follow different steps using research analysis, business analysis. We need to go for a deep dive into the software architectural design. We need to go for continuous testing. We need to go for a system administration continuously. Even also, that is very hard to maintain after the deployment. You need to take care of the whole workflow in a continuous method. And that's one of the major use what low-code development gives us. So afterwards, usually in a company, whenever in a company of IT company, usually the software development engineers make and take care of all the products, or they all take parts in the development of an application. But by the use of low-code development platform, different teams in a company can be brought together into the development interface or the development curve. As I said earlier, even the front office manager in a company in the receptionist in the company can take part in making an application. Best example, a delivery boy in a Swiggy can make application just like Swiggy using low-code development. That's how powerful the low-code development platforms are right now. So the next one is that, as we said, more people can be enabled to work on a single project, right? So as more the project people, or as more the people comes to a project, the project can be executed that much fastly. So that's how a project becomes more fast and agile in its deployment. So this makes enterprises and business to deploy their applications in a fast manner. They can find new products. They can develop new products within the meantime itself. So yeah, one of the major advantages that low code provides in the industry is that it reduces the complexity of databases. Complex database integration can be divided into a small data set such as Excels, and functionating all the Excel data set can contribute to development of this application. In the first slide itself, first slide itself, we have discussed that we need a big database integration for Swiggy. But when it comes to low-code development, we can even make a Swiggy clone application, not just with full functionalities, but also with some functionalities. We can make a set of Swiggy application with a database integration in a less complex manner. Just like we can make something like using Excel sheet, we can integrate SharePoint, we can integrate things from Google Drive, and everything. So this is one of the major advantages what low-code development platforms provide us with. So if there is a bug in Swiggy, what are they going to do? If there is a bug in Swiggy, first the client will report. They will be they'll the team, the support team will work on it. They'll try to identify the issue. So there are different team or development team in the Swiggy whole part of the Swiggy. So this problem will be given to different parts of the team, and they will be discussing about the problem, and they will be trying to change. They will change the issue, and they will deploy it. Sometimes they need to completely shut down the whole application for 2 or 3 hours in order to make these changes. So that's how a problem can hit a natively developed application. But this problem can be resolved using low code development. Whenever we need to add a new facility to the application, we can add it simply by dragging and dropping this environment without making changes in the original application. Suppose we are having an application with 5 screens, we need to add a sixth screen with some changes. So we'll be going and adding a sixth screen, and we'll be dragging and dropping some components. We'll be testing it with just a preview method, and we'll be adding these changes. And if some issue is arising with the users, we'll accept the issue request, and we'll be working on it. And it's simple to make changes on this pages in a local development platform, because there is we don't need to review 1,000 lines of code. We just need to look into the interface, and we can understand what are all the changes and what all changes we can do, we can do to in order to resolve this issue. So that much easy is how local development platforms are. And as we discussed, it enables non-developers to develop apps. So this is also an encouragement for all non-IT people out there to develop application by their own. Even they can showcase their applications in their students can showcase their applications in their resume even without writing a single line of code. So that's really an inspiration for them to learn the power of coding also. Yeah, as we all discussed, a large team can be worked on same application that makes the workflow more continuous, more powerful, and all. So, as we discussed earlier, there are two types of major low-code development platforms. One of the major one is low-code development, and the other one is no-code development. So, what are all the difference between it? So, the main objective of a low-code development platform is to serve speed a development or an application is to serve an application with high speed and with a highly customizing option. That's a major objective of a low code development thing. But when it comes to a no code development, its main objective is to provide the users with easily accessible uh, or what software an application that can be made easily. That's the major objective of no code development. But when it comes to a low code development, we just need to write a few lines of code in order to make some custom changes, in order to make a welcome page more interactive. We can write some custom css, we can write some custom javascript. So a little presence of uh, coding knowledge or little lines of code will be used in this low code development platforms. But when it comes to a no code development platforms, even the preloader of a website or in a welcome page of a website will be predefined by the service provider. So we don't need to write even a single bit of code, just drag and drop, and we just need to change the text. So that's all what we need in a no-code development platform. In a low-code development platform, we can customize the whole application that we are going to discuss. They'll be giving us with a template. We can change all the predefined thing that they are going to give. But when it comes to no-code development platform, there are pre-built templates, but we can't change it to a large scale. There are limitations in changing it. We can't change it more than what they are going to say. So if you want to add a particular animation in a no code development, we can't do it. But in low code development platform, if you want to add a custom animation, we can write the custom animation code and we can do such things. So that's all the difference between low code and no code development. And in low code development, we can make complex applications as there is presence of a simple lines of code. We can even make more complex applications using the low code development. And when it comes to a no-code development, we can only make a simple set of applications because there are limited set of what we can only use a limited lines of code to its making. So local development local development platforms are mainly used to make general purpose applications. For example, if we want to make an application that tracks our tickets in a support tickets in a community, then we will be using local development platforms in order to make this application. But if we want to make an application that is controlling our workflows, our personal workflows. Suppose I need to make a to-do app to maintain all my workflow. So just I will be just using a self-service application. So that's all the purpose of what no-code development. Mainly these low-code development platforms are used by IT developers, but also it can be used by non-IT developers because it only uses a limited lines of code. People with limited knowledge in coding can also use the low-code development platforms. But the no-code development platforms are used by everyone, even every person. I think all the internet users have once tried Canva because it's that much simple to make posters. But the number of people who used Photoshop will be very low. That's how the difference between environment that provide us with least interaction, like drag and drop interactions. So that's all the difference between low code and no code development. So let's discuss about popular low-code development platforms. So first one is WordPress. So what is WordPress? WordPress is a low-code web development platform that is installed on a web server, and changes will be done on a visual environment by system admins using the drag and drop interaction. It also has some facility to write custom code, like custom HTML can be written, custom CSS, custom JavaScript can be written in order to make changes. More people can install the themes and use additional plugin feature to add special features like forms, blog page, etc. So that if I want to add a blog page, if I want to add a registration form to a website, I can just call a plugin from WordPress marketplace, and I can integrate it to WordPress, and just I can do the rest of the things. So it also acts like a drag and drop environment. It's just similar to a drag and drop environment, and here we can make and deploy websites very simply without even writing a single line of code. But also WordPress gives us a provision to write custom code, like custom HTML can be written, custom CSS can be written, custom JavaScript can be written, everything can be written. WordPress is a software that is all written in PHP. So uh, not talking about the back end of the WordPress, but if as a client of WordPress, we don't even have to write a single line of code. Okay, so the next one is Microsoft Power Apps. Microsoft Power Apps are used to build mobile first applications. Mobile first application means applications that can be run on mobiles, or firstly on mobile. This helps in building quick custom apps that can connect our data source, data stored in the platform like OneDrive, Excel, Google Drive, SQL database, etc. One of the major advantage of Microsoft Power Apps are it is mainly used by industrial professionals. Apps built using Microsoft Power Apps provide a rich business logic and workflow capabilities to transform our manual business into an business operations into a powerful digital operation, and we can automate all our workflows using Microsoft Power Apps into an application manner. Apps built using Power Apps have a responsive design also. If we are designing an application in mobile first view, we can also use the same application as a website, and also same application as a website in the tablet or an application in tablet. So it is also provides us with a much responsive design, and it can run seamlessly in web browser, mobile devices, phone, tablet, anything. Uh, this is very Microsoft Power Apps provides a very convenient and user-friendly environment, or a visual environment interface to develop applications, just similar to drag and drops with integration of Microsoft Excel, uh, the functioning of Microsoft Excel forms and everything. Also, Microsoft Power Apps provides us with some of the uh, features like using templates and everything. And one of the major disadvantages that Microsoft Power Apps face is we can't deploy the apps that we make in Microsoft Power Apps into places like Play Store or App Store or anything. It can only be deployed in an environment that is within the Microsoft Power Apps. So it is available to download an app from Google Play Store called Microsoft Power Apps. And if you are making a Microsoft Power App using the tool, we can only display the same application within that application that we are downloading from Google Play Store. So the other tool is Retool. These are mainly used for making enterprise solution. Using the retool, several low-code enterprise solution or admin panels, admin dashboard, these are made using retools. Create.io is also a similar tool, just like retool. These two are one of the major low-code platform, powerful low-code development platform after WordPress and Microsoft. Soho Creator also is somewhat similar to Retool and Create.io. Uh, Qxi is also a website development low-code development platform, and the other one is Wix. I think we all have heard about Wix by the ads that we see in YouTube. Okay, Wix is also somewhat similar to what WordPress does. It also provides us with a drag and drop environment with for developing websites. But comparing with WordPress, WordPress gives us a much easy way to interact with what to tell custom HTML, custom CSS, and custom JavaScript. But when it comes to Wix, there is some disadvantages that Wix provides us with. We can't write custom HTML, we can't write custom CSS when we are running on a free trial basis. Something. If we are a premium user of Wix, we can write custom CSS, custom JS in a high skill manner, but still the workflow of a Wix website is not good as the comparing with WordPress website. And the other one is Shopify. Shopify is one of the most familiar website to everyone, and Shopify is actually a low-code development platform. Suppose I am a shopkeeper or I do have a shop in a real world. So I need to completely integrate my sales through online. So I can suppose I am a I do sell clothes. So I can showcase my all my clothes in a website. I can showcase my available clothes, various designs of clothes in my website into a website, and people can buy from there. Uh, Shopify gives us a platform where we can design our own e-commerce website. So we just need to go to Shopify app website. We need to create an account. We can create our own portal, and we just need to choose a template. We need to drag and drop the components, that UI components that we need, and we need to add the details of the products. We need to add the images of the products, price of the products, and what are the advantages that Shopify as a software provider that get is they'll be getting a profit from what they provide us with. So those are the most popular low-code platforms available out there in the industry. So now let's look into the future of low-code development. So as we discussed, we got an idea that software development engineers are also working in making application. At the same time, a front-end office or a delivery boy can also make an application just like Swiggy. So, do these software development engineers lose their job? So, the first statement is that no regular software developer jobs are going to get affected due to this implementation of low-code development platforms, because native app development has its own importance, and low-code development has its own importance. We can't make a fully fledged Swiggy application that uh, uh, interacts with thousands of data or millions of data day by day. It can't be done so easily using low-code development. So all these has their own advantages and its own disadvantages. So native software developers are not going to lose their job. At the same time, low code development is going to have its own future in its own way. uh, it won't become a primary framework to make applications. That's what I meant by that software developers is not going to lose their job. Still, at some point, it will be a major development thing. What local development will be becoming a major development environment, but still, it won't become a primary framework or a company's primary priority to make application. Still, it will be a native code development platform will be a company's primary priority. These local development platform will give rise to new remote areas within the existing domain, such as developing APIs exclusive for local development platforms. Will Is an example for remote areas that are being arising in the existing domain. Yeah, suppose if we want to make an application just like Swiggy, we can make a prototype, just working prototype of Swiggy without writing a single line of code using low-code development platform. Afterwards, we can test this application using low-code development platform, and we can move on to making the native development of this application. So the advantages of doing a prototype of full stack application is it can reduce the time of testing, and also we can identify all the issues that we are going to face while deploying an application. So the low code development platform or the low code applications will be providing a live prototype of the full stack application, and they will help us to understand all the requirement of an application, all the faults they are facing. And also, as we said, database validation, it can be analyzed, and database can validation can be implemented more, as we said. Uh, yeah an enterprise market will be open for the low code. As we discussed, Shopify is one of the best example that we can provide right now. uh, we can't It is not that much easy to build an application like Amazon or Flipkart in order to sell their own products in a website, or in order to sell their products on internet. So an enterprise market for low code apps will surely open. If we can, that's how Swiggy came into existence. So there are several things where normal people can integrate, normal people can work into. So there is a huge market open for this low code developers. So there's a huge need for the people who knows to develop application using low code development platforms. Yeah, actually, right now there are several companies who goes beyond behind the IT solution. IT solution has become a startup strategy. Similarly, low code solution provider will also become a startup strategy in the coming days. So moving on to the introduction to Power Apps, this is one of the most important part in our today's talk. Uh, yeah, okay. Microsoft Power App is a set of cloud-based software devices that provides us to make build mobile-first application. Using Microsoft Power Apps, we can connect with many data sources like Microsoft Excel, OneDrive, SQL servers. We can create and publish mobile application. Uh, say at the same time, it can be accessible using web and all. And as we said, no code is required for this. It is also used to make prototypes and prototypes of large designs. And some of the major components of the Power Apps are web.powerapps.com. It is the online design environment that is used to manage and share our apps. The very next thing is Power App Studio. It is the prototype, or we can preview our app that we are building in the Power App Studio. Database validation are being done here. And Power Apps Mobile. This is the mobile application that we are able to access. And in this Power Apps mobile application, all the apps that we make in this environment are accessible there. Okay, so we can develop a mobile application right now. So I hope my screen is visible. Okay, so as we discussed, web.powerapps.com. This is one of the most important website being part of low-code development using Microsoft Power Apps. So let's navigate through the website. Yeah, in this website, first thing, this is how the interface looks like. Here we can make the application using just from a basic structure. Simple website, simple application can be made from scratch, and also it can be made from Excel. It can be made out of a SQL server and everything. Also, the Microsoft Power Apps interface provides us with an environment with learning resources from Microsoft Learn, and these are one of the most premium learning resources that you can find out there regarding Microsoft Power Apps. No other courses can ensure this much quality in learning low-code development, especially using Microsoft Power Apps. And these are the apps. Okay, so I'll tell you what an environment in Microsoft Power Apps is. I right now just consider Microsoft Ambassador Program as a company I am working on. Okay, so this is the environment I am working. This is the company environment I am working right now. These are the applications that are made by the whole what office bearers or the co-workers of my company. These are the applications that are made by the people. So in this, this can be only be viewable in this environment. Okay, so that's how what applications looks like. Yeah, that's it. And the create option, this gives us an idea about what all type of application that we can create. And here they provides us with a various set of templates that we can make web applications or applications of. And these are the set of data that we can use. This is the integration of Microsoft Azure workflows and everything. We can integrate chatbots, we can integrate AI Builder and everything. Okay, so mainly there are two types of low code applications, or mainly we can make two types of mobile applications from using Microsoft Power Apps. The first one is that Canvas application. Canvas application are applications, they will be providing us with a template, and they will be providing with the us with a data source. There is nothing we need to make change of it. We need to make you just need to make changes on the template and everything. But when it comes to a model driven application, it's more complex than Canvas application. There will be a predefined SQL server, or there will be a predefined format of this application. Suppose making an admin dashboard is kind of related to model driven application. In order to make a model driven application, we need to have an idea what all the things that our app going to do. So we need to identify the problem, we need to analyze the problem, so then only we can make a model driven application. But when it comes to a Canvas app, we just need to have an idea about the problems. For example, right now we can develop an application used for employee engagement survey. So just go and click on the tab. Okay, we need to change the app name. We can change the app name into CYS, and we can create it. It will take a small time in order to develop the application. Okay. Yeah, open app. So yeah, here we need to give access to our OneDrive. So if you are using if you are wishing to make an application using Microsoft Power Apps, you need to have access to OneDrive business account. If you are not having one, you need to take Microsoft 365 suite, and then you need to start an account on Microsoft OneDrive. Okay. So yeah, if you want to make an application, just take a look at this. Here we have 5 questions and a final screen, welcome page and everything. So we need to store this data somewhere. If someone from our company is using and filling this engagement survey, the data need to be stored at somewhere, right? So we are giving access to our OneDrive business, so that our data will be stored right there. Okay. It's getting loaded. Okay. The application is right here. So how simple Microsoft Power Apps is in order to build an application, I'll just tell. Uh, these are the screens available right there. You can adjust the screen size here. These are the screen landing screen, question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4, question 5, and the final screen. And this is the home screen, as we said. So these are each UI components that are available. So this is a whole grouped new screen. Okay, inside the home screen, there is a text box. This one is the given text box. There is a grouped text box in which there are two sub text box. And other than that, there is a button that linked to moving to the next page called the landing screen. And there is a rectangle which gives the color to the box. And there is another text box that conveys the idea of title. Okay, so that's all in the home screen. Similarly, in the landing screen, there are several things. There is a text box. There are two buttons for going back and going next, and there are two text box also, and there is a rectangle in order to give color for the header file. So just somewhat similar to that, there are 5 questions, each comprising of a text box, rectangle with a text box, and a rectangle. This rectangle contains the progress that we are doing. Okay. And the text box right here, two buttons, radio buttons, text box that having all these things and everything. Okay, so let's move on to discussion of these things. Okay, here we can clicking this one goes to the selection of this text box. Also, we can select this one just by clicking here. Okay, we are clicking here, and here there are something given. Okay, text, font size, font weight, font style, text alignment, auto height, and something like that. We don't need to look into dive deep into those things, but still we can just look text. Okay, we can change this one. We can change this one to IEEE Kerala section. Yeah, IEEE Kerala section. Yeah, it got changed there, and here we can change. Yeah, we can change. Yes, text is available. Uh, student membership survey. Student membership survey. Just take care of the casing. Okay. Yeah, it got updated here. Estimated time. I will just took it. I'll just complete the whole thing in around 2 minutes. So I'll type it as 2 minutes, and the estimated time to complete. Okay, let's change it into estimated time to complete the survey. Okay. So right now, actually, we are making an application that we are uh, just like how applications are made, or the application that are available in software what in Play Store. We are making somewhat a similar application. Get started to the survey. Okay, get started to the survey. We also renamed everything in the first page. Okay, so that's all from the first page. In the next page, okay, let's go and change the heading as we said. IEEE Kerala section. Okay, let's change this one. Okay, we can't change this one. What is this? When you are clicking this one, just have a look. Look up welcome note ID equal to 1 welcome title. So it is defining that there is something function. There is some function playing behind the thing. So actually, as we discussed earlier, this application is built upon a Excel sheet. Okay. So in order to find this Excel sheet, we need to go to our OneDrive in the Power Apps section in the templates. Yeah, there we have employment engage survey, and there will be having S. This is the data set that drives the application. Okay. So yeah. Okay. This is the okay. This is the Excel that drives this application. Okay. Let's have a look. What is your role? Is that a question there? Okay. Let's have a look. Yeah, that is a question right there. That's the question number one. And is the question number one, what departments do you work with? Yes, exactly. That's what going with. Question number three, how many hours do you spend? Question number four, do you see yourself working here in 1 year? Other comments. So all these questions are not written in this application, or as we done changes here, it's not written like that. It's already predefined within the template itself. Just similar to that, change this. Okay. Okay. Similar to this, we can find the options. Options where it is accounting. Yeah, the departments that we are working with: accounting, administrative, customer services. These are not that we have added here. Okay, so these things are actually given or mentioned already here pre-handedly by the Microsoft Power Apps. Also, we have some welcome note. The survey consists of 5 questions. Yeah, we were not able to change this thing. We were not able to change this thing because this welcome title was used here. Just look at this. Well, this is an function used in Microsoft Excel in order to call those things from a Microsoft Excel. Okay, so in this Microsoft Excel, welcome title is the table with the heading welcome title is being called. So this table consists of the data. The survey consists of 5 questions, and it is being used here. And also the progress has been tracked. Yeah, that's also given here. And that's how these things or a Excel integration works with Microsoft Power Apps. So here this is a simple what to tell Excel. But when it comes to a model driven application, we need to make this whole application whole Excel. Suppose we need to make an application in order to maintain the tickets that are going within the workflow within the company, then we need to make the first ticket as assigned to last date, submission date, last date of submission, status of the ticket, something like that. We need to make something, some sort of attributes for all these things. And a Microsoft Power App can only be made out of Excel containing of tables. So these are not just Excel cells. These are Excel tables actually. Okay. So uh, if you are writing a table or a Microsoft Excel just with question text, option ID, or just something like that, the Microsoft Power Apps won't work. We need to make it as a table using the Microsoft Excel things. Okay. So as we said, this is how simple we can work or we can make an application using Microsoft Power Apps. So after making each changes in Microsoft Power Apps, we need to save. We need to save these things to Power Apps. Actually, Microsoft Student Partner gives me with enough things. So I'm going to store it in my cloud itself. So this is my application name and I'm going to save this thing. Okay. I've saved this. Okay, let's look into it. Okay, this is the see all versions. Let's look into the versions right now. I have done only one changes. I have only saved the application once. So this is the version 1 right now we are having. Again, right now I'm going to change something in the home screen. That's only what we can do right now, right? So I'm going to change the color to black. Okay, I've changed the color to black and right now I'm going to save it. So color changed to black. Changed to color changed to black. See. So we are saving it to the Power Apps. We are saving it to the cloud, and let's go to the versions. Okay, it's getting loaded. Okay, so there is a second version. We can see this. This is the version that is live right now. Okay, if if a client is looking into our mobile application, they are going to see this version of this application. Okay, but actually we have made a change. We have changed the color. That is not visible, right? So we can go to this version. We can publish this one. Okay, we can publish this. I think the option is here, right? Yeah, publish this version. Okay, right now you can see this is the live version right now. It's okay. So suppose you are making an application with 10 to 20 changes or version changes, and you want to revert back to any position or any version that you have deployed actually. So at that time you can come back to version 1 and you can click the restore. Will be served as a restore. It will be become the live one. Okay, so that's how it also what Microsoft Power Apps also just acts as a tracking, just like how Git works. So that's how powerful Microsoft Power Apps is in making a mobile application. Yeah, that's all about the Microsoft Power Apps. Yeah, one of the, as we said, one of the most important platform to learn logo development using Microsoft Power Apps is Microsoft Learn. There are several ways to start making Microsoft Power Apps. From Excel, making an app from Excel using Microsoft SQL. We can also see the various data sources that we can use from Microsoft Power Apps. I think it will be shown right now. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yes, we can make an application using Google Drive, Google Sheets, Microsoft Dataverse, MySQL, OneDrive for Business, Oracle Database, PostgreSQL, SQL Server, SharePoint, and everything. So it's not only limited to Microsoft Suite or Microsoft 365 products, but also we can connect our mobile application that we are going to make using Power Apps to various data sources out there in the industry. Okay, so that's all from my side. Thank you for all being a wonderful audience. Thank you, interns team, for giving this opportunity to take my presentation. And thank you all. That's it.
Now it's time for question answer section. So the first question in the chat is WordPress a low code or no code development platform?
Okay, so as we discussed, WordPress is a low-code development platform because low-code provides us with the featured or the provision in order to make custom changes using HTML, custom CSS, custom JavaScript, and everything. If you want to make a blog page with a custom header file or a custom hero section, you can do as such. But when it comes to when it comes to a no-code development platform, you can't even write a single line of custom code in order to make changes. So that's the difference what WordPress provides us, and at the end, WordPress is a low-code development platform.
Okay. Our next question is, can't we deploy Microsoft Power Apps in Play Store or anything like that?
No, actually, Microsoft Power Apps cannot be deployed in Play Store or anything. If we want to deploy Microsoft Power Apps, we can only deploy in our own environment that we're having. So suppose I have made this application just that we have discussed called engagement survey. If we want to publish the application, we can publish this application to the environment that we are working right now. And afterwards, if we want to see this application, we need to install the Power Apps mobile app from Play Store, and then we need to open it, and we can see all those applications that we are developed under the environment that we going to sign on.
Our next question is it mandatory to have a premium suite to make Power Apps?
Yes, it is mandatory to have one. Actually, Microsoft provides you with the access to make an application using Microsoft OneDrive with OneDrive. But in the most scenario, it is advised to make use of Microsoft Business in order to connect with the data source, and also if you want to ensure a complete workflow or a perfect integration of everything, it's better to have a Microsoft 365 suite or a Dynamic 365 suite.
Thank you, Gautam. Knowledge is power. Knowledge shared is power multiplied. Thank you, Gautam, for this amazing session. Firstly, I would like to extend my gratitude to the audience and hope you enjoy the talk. Until next time, good night.